I used to think that working in AI meant you needed to be some technical genius coder, the kind of person who reads research papers in their spare time or builds their own models. But having worked in this space over the past year, I've realized that it's not really as intimidating as it all looks. And I'm going to share everything I've learned on this channel. Did you know that there are over 70,000 AI companies globally today? 63% of product teams are now working on AI-enhanced features, even if their primary product isn't AI. And the AI software market is growing at the speed of light, with a rate of around 40% year on year. So AI literacy is becoming a core product management competency. And that's even if you're not in an AI-focused role, but for any product role in the future.
Future's now, old man.
I'm Rachel, and I'm your Sydney tech girly and recovering perfectionist. Join me on this journey as we become masters of the product management craft. And in this video, catch up to an increasingly AI world. I've spent the past 5 years in B2B SaaS and over a year in AI product. And that's all with no technical background. When I first joined Canva as an AI product manager, I had no idea what to expect. I prepped for my interviews, watching lots of videos about AI 101 and how to train models. So I would spend time at work watching these tutorials and then asking the engineers on my old team what these terms meant. And I thought I needed to deeply understand things like algorithms, neural networks, transformers, fine-tuning, and a billion other buzzwords that I came across. What I didn't realize, and what I don't think a lot of other people outside of this space do either, is that most companies actually build their software on top of existing large language models like GPT, Claude, or Gemini. And the magic isn't just in the model itself, but how you leverage that model to build something that people can actually use. At Canva, we use a mix of different techniques, but I'm going to keep that a secret because that is confidential information. What I can share though is that I build experiences in conversational AI, making it easier for people like me to engage with AI to achieve their goals in a visual way. This year we launched Canva AI, which is an AI chat assistant that helps people generate designs, images, code, or brainstorm and help them flesh out their ideas. During this experience, I needed to make some key mindset shifts from traditional software to the AI world. But firstly, if you're not familiar with what a product manager does, you can check out some of my previous videos where I talk through the key responsibilities. The first thing you'll notice when working in AI is how chaotic and ambiguous the AI world is. It's moving extremely quickly, with new models, companies, and use cases popping up daily, and you need to be able to react to that. There is a lot of unknowns, and a lot of opportunity as well to pioneer in new interaction patterns or techniques. For example, large language models are pretty established when it comes to generating text, and generating visuals is getting pretty good too. But when you're in my space talking about generating editable layered designs, that is freaking hard. And that's especially when these LLMs are language models, meaning that they're optimized for text. In traditional software development, you usually start with the value first and then envision an ideal experience for your users. Then engineering will go off and build it. Along the way, you may come across some speed bumps or complex solutions, but what you're aiming for is generally possible. In an AI world, sometimes the tech isn't always there to solve what users expect. Sometimes the most valuable thing for a user might not even be possible yet. So there's an added dimension of feasibility. There have been times where I've been asked to figure out what the tech is capable of first, and then work backwards to map it to value. This feels so contrarian to everything I've learned in product management. And it's partly why you'll feel like the AI applications world is still quite novel, and you hear that companies haven't truly cracked mainstream, valuable use cases for AI yet. But we are getting there day by day. Because of this added technical dimension, you end up collaborating with a more technical team. Machine learning engineers, researchers, data scientists end up becoming your best friends, alongside your usual design, engineering, and QA teams. Previously, I've worked in a tight triad with design and engineering to lead the product. However, in AI, your triad becomes more like a heptad with MLE, research, data, design, engineering, and product as part of that group. At first, I was a little confused on how to work with an MLE, but I've come to learn that they are similar to your engineers, with deep expertise in AI models and prompting. The challenge of this is more people means more opinions to align on, creating difficult stakeholder management situations to move fast in this space. An AI product manager is a master in navigating people to prioritize and deliver quickly. As an introverted PM, this is something that I struggle with personally, and it is something I'm still learning how to manage. So, how do we best support our MLEs? Well, in traditional product management, you identify target personas and use cases. In AI product management, you create golden prompts and golden flows. These are test cases that help your MLEs refine the system prompts and tune behavior. For example, if I were creating an AI travel planner app, a golden prompt might be something like, generate me a 5-day itinerary for a trip to Tokyo, or come up with a packing list for 3 days at the snow. A golden flow would then be the chaining of these prompts and the expected responses from the system to form a journey. As you can see, these are just like use cases, except they tend to be a bit more specific with those niche examples, and you'd create a whole bunch of them so your engineers can take them and use them for testing and evaluating the quality of new features. Why this is important, and one of the things that took me a long time to wrap my head around as someone who came from traditional software development, is that AI is non-deterministic. So what does that mean? A very loose comparison of this would be if you told the most disciplined person in the world to do something simple, versus you told my puppy Monty to do something. With the former, you know what you're gonna get, whereas with the latter, anything's possible. How AI works is that you give it a prompt and it uses probability, randomness, and context to give you the most suitable response back. When you're dealing with these dimensions, there's always going to be those small probabilities where it returns something that is a little off or incorrect. And my MLEs had to reiterate to me over and over that AI isn't going to be 100% guaranteed. This means as an AI product manager, you need to accept that your world no longer operates in certainties. There's not so much of an, if I do this, then this would happen. Instead, you'll need to communicate a threshold of good enough for your features and start prioritizing based on the majority likelihoods. So the 80-20 Pareto rule becomes more important than ever. Trying to get things working perfectly is no longer a realistic or valuable use of time. There's always going to be a long tail end of edge cases where AI is just going to get it wrong. So you really need to start leaning on data and intuition to figure out where and when you focus on trying to get it as right as possible. This is really good practice for a recovering perfectionist like me. Lastly, because the tech behaves differently, our success metrics do too. While we still care about user experience and conversion, we also need to look at a key set of health metrics in AI product management that are slightly different. In addition to the traditional growth, retention, and adoption metrics, we need to be monitoring what I perceive to be the holy trinity of AI metrics: quality, latency, and costs. These metrics are so interesting, and I think that they deserve a whole video in itself, but at the crux of it, what you're trying to look at is 1. Is what you're producing good enough? 2. Is it fast enough? And 3. Are you making money from it? In addition to these, the other AI metrics to keep an eye on are your error rates and moderation rates. Because with regulations still catching up to AI, there is an ethical responsibility on us to keep the technology safe, not just functional. All in all, while there are many differences between how a PM operates in AI versus in traditional software, at the end of the day, whether it's AI or not, we should still be prioritizing value where possible, not novelty. It can feel really tempting to just chase something shiny, but if we're not solving for something real, then you end up with a tool that just kind of does everything and doesn't really help anyone. And all those thousands of AI tools that you see out there today that just showcase some cool tech, they're not going to last long unless they adopt that mindset. I'd like to believe that AI won't replace the human touch, but it can amplify it. And it's our job as product managers to shape that future with empathy, not just efficiency. This is just the beginning of our journey together, exploring the world of product, tech, and AI. There is so much more that I can share about working in this space, and if you found it interesting, let me know if you'd like a part 2 in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and this is your Sydney Tech Girlie logging off for now. Bye!